Yar! It's vloggy day 794.
Morning. It's Wednesday, which means today is Writer Wednesday. It's actually Tuesday today. Time warp madness. For those of you who haven't been around for very long, I do really like to talk a little bit about my writing from time to time. If you were unaware, I wrote a book recently and kickstarted this, and it did pretty well, and we had a good time. I can link to it below if you're interested in grabbing a copy. It's a post-apocalyptic. But the reason that I want to talk about this today is because I think a lot of creative people, whether they're writers, YouTubers, musicians, painters, whoever it is, often we treat our creative pursuits as if it's a zero-sum game, as if somebody buys my book, they're not going to buy somebody else's book, and then it suddenly becomes a competition, which I don't think is necessary. And I think it can lead to bad things sometimes. Before I jump into that too far, Pullman, we were talking about it. This week is supposed to be dedicated very much to my vlog as a whole and kind of behind-the-scenes stuff. I think this ties in a little bit, but Pullman was a little bit shocked that I went into some certain details with my how to vlog video, which I will link to, of course. If you'd like to check that out, let me know what you think. Specifically, what kind of caught him off guard was that I talked about a hook, that I try to open my videos with something interesting, so you're more likely to sit around and watch the whole thing. I don't think that's particularly shocking. I think that's just kind of how all of this works. Same thing with writing a book. The first few sentences are the most important because you've got to hook the reader's interest. They've got to be like, how am I going to read this entire book? Oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, well, that's interesting. You got to keep it interesting. Otherwise, they're not going to stick around. Is that too much for you to know? So let me know in the comments below. Is that too much sausage being made in the background? That too much? No. I'm actually using his camera here right now, testing this thing out just to see how it works to, actually do a sit-down vlog with a real camera. Zero-sum game. If you're not familiar with the term a zero-sum game, the idea is that there is a limited resource, and if I have a certain amount of it, you can't have that amount. If I have all of it, then you can't have any of it, right? In this water bottle, if the water is the limited resource that we're talking about, if I drink that much, that means there's only this much left for you. And if 10 people are here and they drink that much, that all of a sudden, there are a bunch of people that don't get any water. In the same way, people believe that money in the creative arts is highly limited and nobody's gonna sit around and buy their book if they buy somebody else's book. I don't think that's entirely true. As we've demonstrated in modern society, wealth is almost immeasurably creatable. We've created wealth pretty much out of nothing, which is a whole nother conversation that we could have at some other point. But wealth is something that we're able to create and generate and build, right? So if we're able to buy more stuff, and then we're able to make some more money, we can buy more things, it goes around in circles. In fact, I know some authors in particular who really, really believe that it's all a zero-sum game, that people are only gonna buy so many books in a year, and they have to get a portion of those books or they're not gonna be able to get anything. To a degree, I think that's true. I think that we all kind of buy a limited amount of stuff. As individuals, we're not made of money, right? So as an individual, you can't buy every book in the world, but you can buy more books than you can read. And that's kind of the point. The zero-sum game for a creative career is not money. The zero-sum game is people's attention. So on the one hand, I believe that as an artist, if you're out to be an artist, perhaps if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to be a musician or a writer, it's very much possible. Sorry if this wide-angle lens thing is really kind of extreme for today. Just realized that I can't see it, so hopefully later I'm not looking at this thing going, because then it could be the zero-sum game of your interest in this video based on the motion that's going on. Look how huge my hands are compared to my face. Basically, if you have artists that you love and you want to support, you should buy their stuff, right? Because that's how money gets funneled to them. If they're independent, it goes through maybe one middleman, like a website, and then to your creator. If they're a traditionally published author, a movie star, a musician with a record deal, going to their shows, buying merch, showing up at movies, buying books, all that kind of stuff, that is how you support them. You keep them in the game by buying their stuff. It's kind of a two-way street. There's certain authors that I just kind of buy their books right away. I may not have time to read it, but I'm gonna buy it because I wanna make sure that their sales figures look good. I wanna make sure that they're making a little bit of money, which they're not gonna make much in traditional publishing from my one book that I buy. But like my friend Natasha, as soon as her book came up for pre-order, bought it. I didn't really have the money on hand at the time when I did it, but I want to make sure, I could buy it again now, I'm fine, but I wanted to make sure that things look good, that her publisher went to her sales figures and said, wow, she's selling really well, we need to keep her around. That's really, really important. Am I gonna have time to read everybody's books? No, I have a number of friends whose books I've purchased that I may never have time to read. I have a number of friends whose books I've purchased that I probably actually don't want to read. I'm not gonna say who they are, but I also have total strangers that I don't know that I really love. I love their work, and even if I don't have time for it, I'm gonna support them. I mean, there are times where I'll set up a playlist on Spotify and just set it to play because I wanna make sure they get some more plays in. I don't know if that even necessarily helps, but the mentality is there. What I cannot do, as you've already recognized, is actually read every book, listen to every song, go to every movie. I can't. Did I say listen to every book? I'm pretty sure I said read every book. Either way, I don't have the time to actually engage with all the content in the world. I'm terrible at watching YouTube videos. Like there's certain YouTubers that I watch religiously, and then there's a bunch that like I will check in on and I will watch their stuff from time to time to see what they're up to, but I don't have time to watch that. I'm too busy making my own, and my computer's too busy making random noises to let me know that it's still alive. We're all kind of busy. That is ultimately the zero-sum game, and that I think is where the competition really deserves to be. And that competition is not won by being shady, by trying to hurt other artists, by not supporting them. Like for example, with the voting that I got nominated for an award in Paris. It's basically an online popularity contest, and I have the least subscribers out of anybody on that list, I'm pretty sure. Who cares? Like, it's not a zero-sum game. It doesn't... Why is it doing that? Why is my computer... If you go and you vote for those other people and they win, which they will because that's how online popularity contests work, it doesn't hurt any of us. It helps one of them even more because they win and they get to have a little award thing, sure. But it helps all of us just for having some visibility, and if more people get on that list and the competition gets more stiff for that one prize, I think that's great. Because then we're all benefiting to some degree. Like we're all getting a little bit of exposure, and you can vote as many times as you want. It's not like it's a set number of votes that we're competing for. I don't know if this is the right analogy to make, but basically if we were as artists to sit down and support each other, push each other, help each other move, you know, the way that we've interacted on Twitter, joking around with like Andrea, like pushing people to vote for others. I think that's great. I don't think that any of us needs to necessarily win this award to see some benefit. And I think that's the mentality that should come out of it. In the same way, I think that if you can push other people's book launches, like when my friends launch a book, I try to retweet it, to push it. When my friend Jane was writing her book on self-publishing, I read and reviewed it. And at the end of the day, the only way that you're gonna win the competition for people's attention is by quality. It doesn't matter how good your marketing strategies are. It doesn't matter any of that. That can get your book in front of people and get them to buy it. Why are you doing that, computer? But ultimately, the only way you're gonna get people to spend time reading your book is if your book's any good. We all buy books. I'm not a saint. I will admit this up front. We all buy books that we don't finish reading. Right? I have books, both by people I don't know and by friends that I've started and been like, okay, no. They got my money. They're still a professional. They're still doing their gig. Hopefully they're still, advancing in their career. But my time is what's precious. Time is our number one most limited resource, as we all know. If you've listened to me this far, you're never getting that time back. I'm sorry to say that. And in the same way, if you're gonna spend time reading a book or you're gonna spend time watching a movie, listening to a song, you can multitask a little bit when you're listening to music sometimes, but the fact of the matter is that you're never getting that time back. Why are you doing this? So that, to me, is where the competition lies, and the only way to win that competition is against myself. I need to make the most interesting YouTube content that I can. Am I? Definitely not. There's a long ways for me to grow. I need to write the best books that I can so people will read them and read them through. Are they the most interesting books ever? Absolutely not. There's a ton. And mute. Maybe that'll solve that problem. The only way that I'm going to become a best-selling author or rocket to the top of YouTube or do anything else is to create things that people know. They basically have a guarantee that it's gonna be worth their time, that they're gonna get what they're coming for, that it's gonna be entertaining, that it's gonna be educational, that it's gonna be something valuable. And that's the only way that people are gonna keep coming back and keep giving me their time. So time is the ultimate zero-sum game, and that is a competition. If somebody's reading my book, they're not reading someone else's book. They could buy 10 books and support 10 artists. And I believe that I believe we should be generous with the way that we buy creative content to help more people stay in the creative game, right? Obviously you shouldn't just throw your money away, but find creatives that you love for one reason or another and support them. This is not actually a sales pitch for my book. I didn't even actually intend to have my book in here, but find creative content that you enjoy, purchase it, support it, and then love what you love. Read what you read. If you find that somebody's not as interesting as you hoped, move on to somebody else. There's a massive pool. It doesn't take that many people actively supporting an artist to keep them afloat. I know. I have 300 patrons and I'm pretty much at the verge of being a full-time creative just with that. And that is incredible. So it only takes a few hundred people, your 1,000 true fans to support you. And you can find that. If you're writing books, you're telling stories, it's not easy. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of people giving you a chance. You can find that crowd of people that can support you, that can keep you afloat. And so, go support creative people. Love them. And if you are a creative person, support your creative friends. Find new friends, strangers. Just find stuff that you love. Retweet about it. Share it on Facebook. Tell the whole world about it. Because at the end of the day, sorry if the camera's a little bit wobbly here. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. And if people stop spending money on entertainment, they stop spending money on education, they stop spending money on whatever it is that you're producing, that doesn't hurt just you, that hurts everybody. Conversely, that hurts everybody and it hurts you. So what am I trying to say? If you have a creative dream, go for it and support other creative people in it. The people that you meet, that you befriend, push their stuff as well. Natasha's actually very good about this. If you follow her Twitter feed, she's always pushing people that she loves and supports. If you aren't a creative person, but you enjoy consuming creative content, do the same thing. Find those people that you love, push them, go out, and let them know you like them too. One of the things I love is just interacting with fans because you keep like one negative thing in your head for every 10 positives, right? And so what I want to say right now, don't go to my comment section. Don't go to my comment section because what I want you to do, there are a lot of people out there who don't get nearly the positivity and support that I get on a daily basis on YouTube. What I want you to do, instead of saying nice things to me in the comments below, is to take that positive energy and go elsewhere on YouTube, Twitter, wherever. Find one of your favorite artists that you've never said anything nice to before and tell them how much you like the stuff they make and why. Just go do it. It'll make their day. You'd be surprised how many people are out there writing books, making music, starring in movies, or maybe editing films that never get to hear from their fans why what they do is so awesome. And I do that. That'd make me really happy. One of the things that I've been really wanting to do is I've been wanting to start writing notes, maybe postcards from here, and sending them to the artists that I love and respect, because I know how much it means to me, and I don't do that nearly enough. So I'm gonna do that. I think what I'll do is we're gonna order an extra batch of postcards when we do the Patreon postcards. I'm gonna send them to people that I've never talked to before, but whose work I love. I wanna be personally more appreciative of the art that I love as well. So if you have negative comments, which there's somebody out there that already disliked the video before I even posted it, you can go ahead and keep that negativity here today. Just leave that here. Don't share that with anybody else. I'll take it. Leave that with me. If you have anything positive, nice to say, go, give it away. Give it to somebody who deserves it today. They'll love you for it. Anyways, I'm late for a really busy day, and I'm gonna have to leave you here. I don't know how wobbly this is in the end. Hopefully not too wobbly, but if you like this, do make sure to check out my How I Vlog video. Let me know what you think about that. And that How I Vlog video actually has a lot of links within it to videos that I really liked from this last year of vlogging. Some really positive, a couple really negative, one in particular, but hopefully you can go and enjoy those, and I will see you here again bright and early tomorrow morning for like a full day of vlogging on a somewhat different lens on this camera right here. I don't even know what you can see. This is like a full experiment. Like, is it just my nose or is it the whole thing? I think it's the whole thing. It's a really wide lens. I'll see you tomorrow.